Chris, what is our first main topic today?
This comes from Oliver Carrie. Hey, John. So Crazy Rich Asians was a major hit, making over $230 million on a $30 million budget. With that kind of success, I would think we would have had a sequel by now. But it's almost been 3 years since the first film opened. They just reported that a new writer has come into the movie. So my question is, do you think that means we might see the next movie soon? Is 2023 too much to ask for? What are your thoughts?
All right, thanks a lot for sending that in, Oliver. Crazy Rich Asians is one of the bigger pleasant surprise movies I've seen in the last number of years. I mean, it looked clever. It looked cute. I mean, obviously, I'm married into an Asian family, and my wife was all excited to see it. I mean, and Henry Golding is a guy I've really grown to like a lot. But I wasn't quite prepared for absolutely how charming and funny, and a word I like to use a lot, but delightful that movie was. That movie's great. I love Michelle Yeoh, kills it. Constance Wu is great in it. I mean, the whole cast top to bottom, and really, it introduced the world to Cersei, the actress from
Emma Chen.
What's that?
Gemma Chan.
Gemma Chan.
Is that it? Yeah.
Gemma Chan.
And I'm still mad at her husband in that movie.
Yes.
Boy, did he lose out.
Yeah. What the hell were you thinking?
Dude.
It reminds me of
Come on.
what was it? Was it Hugh Grant that cheated on Elizabeth Hurley? Do you remember this? For those, you guys got to look up this YouTube video, but Hugh Grant was married to one of the most beautiful actress models of all time, Elizabeth Hurley. And he got caught very publicly cheating on her, I think with a prostitute. I can't remember. And I remember on his first public appearance, I think it was Jay Leno. I think he went on the Jay Leno show. So he goes, my guest coming in the upcoming movie, whatever the name of the movie is, Hugh Grant. So Hugh Grant comes walking out, sits down, and Jay Leno just looks at him and goes, what the hell were you thinking? I mean, that's the first thing. But yeah, that's the exact thought that goes through your head as you're watching Crazy Rich Asians with the guy cheating on Gemma Chan's character. But the movie was a massive success. It was made for like $30 million. So it was a huge hit. And I guarantee you the sequel is going to make more. A popular book series, the whole gambit. But they hit a big snag. When there was a big kerfuffle with the writers, when it came out that one of the writers, there was big pay equity between the two writers. One writer was getting paid like 10 times more than the other writer or something like that. But now it looks like we finally got some movement. This comes to us from IndieWire, who write the following. Warner Brothers and Color Force have tapped Chinese-Australian writer Amy Wang to pen the sequel, which will star Constance Wu and Henry Golding. Wang is a story editor on Netflix's Brother's Son and has also worked on From Scratch. The news comes after Crazy Rich Asians co-writers, I'm going to mispronounce this, Chiarelli and Lim, were at the center of a pay dispute. Lim, a veteran TV writer, exited the sequel in 2019 after it was revealed that Chiarelli was paid almost 10 times more, according to The Hollywood Reporter. Lead star Henry Golding recently said that the sequel was still in the works and that he can't wait to get back to Singapore to film. I always bug John M. Chu about it, but he tells me the same thing every time. They're trying to figure out the writing. And now it looks like the writing is on course. So why has it taken them this long? Like, you got to strike while the iron's hot on these sort of things. It's already been 3 years. Oh my God. It's already been 3 years since that movie came out. They're behind on this. But it looks like there was a lot of drama with the filmmakers. It sounds like director John M. Chu really did want to try to get it figured out with the existing writers and get back to it. I respect that. But at least it sounds now like they've got a return to form. Now, it's going to be very interesting to see what direction they go with Crazy Rich Asians. Because while I did not read the books, my wife Anne instantly got the audiobooks, right? And from what I can tell, the sequel books are not about the main characters from the first movie. Because your main characters are Henry Golding and Constance Wu. And while their characters are present, I think I might be remembering this wrong, but I think the second book is really more about Gemma Chan's character.
Yes.
And then the third book completely focuses on, do you remember the idiot cousin? And he just had the hot wife who then went over to the other cousin. The third book's all about her. It really focuses on her, if I'm remembering right. But I don't think you can do that with the movies. I think they're going to want to keep the focus on Henry Golding, Constance Wu, and probably working more Gemma Chan, being as her star has risen a lot more since then. So it's going to be interesting to see where they go with this. All I know is this. I love this movie. This movie's fantastic. And whenever they can get back to making a second one, I'm all for it. Chris, you're hearing about this. What did you think about the original Crazy Rich Asians? And do you think, I mean, it's still only 2022. Could it be possible we get this next one sometime maybe in late 2023, or is it already too late for that?
Late 2023, and I think that's still pushing it.
Okay.
I really enjoyed the first film. I thought it was absolutely delightful. I thought it was so charming, and I absolutely fell in love with Henry, so much so that I forgave Last Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
I was ready. I was okay watching it because I was like, you know what? He's wonderful, and he needs more films. Snake Eyes. I'll watch anything with him. I am interested to see how Constance Wu comes back to this film. I know she's had a lot of kind of public grief through Twitter of, reacting to being bummed when her show got renewed. And fans were not a fan of how she reacted to things.
Look, I try to avoid the drama.
Right.
But I'm not going to lie to you. That whole thing turned me right off of Constance Wu.
Same.
It really did. Like, I'm not going to say I'm not going to watch anything with her again. But it did kind of sour me on her a lot.
It did leave a bad taste in my mouth, especially because, as we all know, so many people are connected to a singular television show.
Right.
So we should be happy when things get renewed. So many people get to keep their jobs. So that was a bit of a bummer.
And it's the thing that made you a star, by the way.
Right. So a little gratitude would be nice. But again, I don't know the ins and outs of Constance's life, the workload, the films that she then had to turn down, that kind of thing. So I do understand. But, sometimes we don't air our dirty laundry, or we at least have a filter. Does it need to be said by me? Does it need to be said by me right now? Let's have those thoughts before we tweet them out. I know that's hard to do. I would love to see a sequel. I'm not particularly familiar with the books. I believe the second book that you were speaking of is China Rich Girlfriend? Is that
China
correct?
Rich Girlfriend,
Okay.
yeah.
So I do think it'd be really interesting to follow more of Gemma's journey. I think that'd be great. Like you were saying, she has come into her own. We've seen her in so many great roles as of late, particularly at The Eternals. I think she's an incredible actress, and her work on British television prior to this was phenomenal. So I would love to see more of her injected into this story. And of course, more Awkwafina. I love her.
Oh my God. That's the other thing about, this was the movie that really got me turned around on Awkwafina.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh my God, like it just, because up until that, like I saw her in a few things. I'm like, but all of a sudden that today I'm a huge, because after that came, what's it called? The Goodbye?
The Farewell.
The Farewell. That's
which
what it
is
was.
so powerful. And she absolutely should have been nominated.
Oh, she was
she
so good in that. And then I loved her in Shang-Chi. But that was Crazy Rich Asians that actually really got me on board the Awkwafina train. Yeah. Anyway, Rob, you hear about this. I mean, the behind the scenes drama between filmmakers, that's always sad, especially when it postpones projects that a lot of audiences are waiting for. Number one, what did you think about the original film? And number two, what do you think now that they've got a writer on board? Do you think we can see this thing sooner rather than later?
I have to tell you, I was late to this bandwagon. I'm like, does this movie appeal to me? Like you, I saw this movie, and I'm going to use that word delightful, because it truly was. It felt like it was a movie out of time. It felt like the whole family values, disappointing your mother because you're marrying beneath your station, and the whole sort of, I loved Awkwafina in this too, because her brand of comedy fit right in. And I really loved seeing, I love explorations of sort of hermetically sealed cultures where everybody's expected. I think that's why people like Downton Abbey, and I've been sort of enjoying the Gilded Age. And this did a really good job of that. But you know what? At its core, I think this movie was very sweet. Yeah. It was very nice, and it was a celebration. I kept waiting for it to get dark, or some horrible family secret to be discovered, because that's kind of what I'm programmed to do. But I also love movies like When Harry Met Sally. I also love a Tootsie. I love this movie. Everything about this movie, and Henry Golding was just dashing and debonair. I mean, this movie could have been made in the 40s. Or the 50s. And it was kind of a throwback, but at the same time, it was modern. I love the scenery. I love Gemma Chan. There's nothing about this movie that didn't put a smile on my face. And I would love to see another one. I liked all these people. I wish I knew them all.
Sorry to interrupt you, Rob. Real quick, I just wanted to know if anyone was familiar with Amy Wang's work. Because when I looked her up, it was a lot of short films that she's written.
She won a Golden Lion for a short film.
Awesome. Okay.
But that's really all I know about her. I haven't watched it yet myself. Cool. But I mean, obviously, John M. Chu must be on board with what she is. But by the way, I got on board with Crazy Rich Asians. This movie hooked me right from its first scene, which I don't know if you remember, but the queen of all badasses, Michelle Yeoh. She's on screen. It's like set 15 years in the past, and she pulls a Bruce Wayne. She gets disrespected in the hotel. Fuck you. I just bought the hotel. Bye. Like, I was like, the moment that happened in this movie, I'm like, God, I'm into this movie already. I want to see more of her.
No, it was just so. And the funny thing is these are the kinds of movies studios should make more of. We don't have any. I mean, you see this movie, and I think people are thirsting for more films like this. I mean, it didn't go to streaming. It was on the big screen, and it was great. It was lush to look at, and you loved being in their house. Like when they first show up, we're Constance Wu, and when we show up at that house, it's like, well,
oh yeah,
I want to live in this house.
Everything is just so decadent in that film. It is delicious.
Yeah, and then Henry Golding's like, yeah, we used to put our cigarettes out in the lion's paw, or we were kids, right? I loved it.
Well, I mean, I got into the lifestyle porn nature of the film right when they get on the plane to fly to Singapore. And it's like, what? I have never flown anything like that. Let me check that out. All right, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? Were you a fan of the first Crazy Rich Asians? I think it was fantastic. I have been thinking, though, it's been a little bit late to get around to coming. Do you think they can get it back on track now? Are you looking forward to it? Wherever you guys think, jump down into the comment section below and leave us your thoughts. We want to thank the sponsor of today's video, MeUndies. What's something you look forward to waking up to every morning? Is it coffee, your pet? Maybe it's the face of someone you love. Well, MeUndies wants to add to that list. Start your mornings with your favorite underwear. And not just any underwear, but ridiculously soft undies with ridiculous prints that make picking out underwear actually fun. Because MeUndies makes the softest fabrics you've ever put on your body. So you can sit on your couch all day or go out and live your comfiest life. Once you try their undies, socks, bralettes, and longwear, you will never go back. Choose from a range of limited edition prints and colors and sizes that go from extra small all the way up to 4XL. You can also sign up for their free to join MeUndies membership, where you get a monthly subscription that sends new styles right to your door. Plus, enjoy discounted pricing, free shipping, and exclusive early access to new launches. And listen, MeUndies has a great offer for my listeners. For any first-time purchasers, you get 15% off and free shipping. MeUndies also gives you this promise. If you're not satisfied with any product for any reason, you can return your order for a full refund within 45 days. To get your 15% off your first order and free shipping, just go to MeUndies.com/Campea. That's MeUndies.com/Campea.